What is the general definition of foreign workers? According to the definition of the International Labour Organization, its workers employed in country do not have the nationality of the country. Why the foreign labor employed and how to case it? First, the economic reason are the difference between the rate of wage in force, which between the two places or between the two countries, the difference in the unemployment rate and the difference in living standards. Second, the decisive condition for international labor migration is that the destination country where the foreign workers are relocated has the need for foreign labor. Third, the destination countries do not take restriction to prevent foreign workers from entering the country. In Macau's foreign workers situation, the population of Macau is only 600,000, but there are more than 100,000 foreign workers, accounting for 45% of the working population in Macau. The existence of a large number of foreign workers usually makes the certain facts and influence on the employment conditions and opportunities of local people. However, this is only a point of view from the perspective of the labor. But the employer does not think that the input is enough. The best way is to open the country without any restrictions. The labor force in many countries can join the labor market in Macau. Where are you from?
I'm from Philippines.
Do you work in Macau?
Yes.
What kind of job you are doing in Macau?
Domestic help.
Could you mind to tell us what amount of your salary?
My salary is 4,100 MOP.
What is the difference of the salary between in Macau and your country?
In my country, it's very not expensive. Like 20,000 pesos in Philippine money. And here is more expensive than in the Philippines.
What is your education level?
My?
Your education level?
College undergraduate.
Why do you choose Macau rather than Hong Kong and other regions and other countries?
Because all the Chinese people here is, for me, it's kind and very peaceful.
Do you satisfy with your job and the salary?
Yes, I'm satisfied, and because my boss is very kind also.
Where do you live?
I live here in Ruandong.
Is the rent room or apartment?
Nice. Dapat sabihin mo na mababa ang sahod.
Do you think you will improve your living standards after back in your country?
What?
Living standards.
Do you improve your living standard after you work in Macau and after you work in Macau,
After you back to
your home country?
Mine?
Yeah, after you back your country, do you think you will improve your living standard, improve your living in your country?
Yes.
What is your plan in the future if you finish the job in Macau? To go back to
Yeah. I go back to my country and then I get a business there. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ikaw na lang.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Philippines.
Do you working in Macau?
Yeah.
What kind of job do you doing in Macau?
Oh, I am a domestic helper here.
Do you mind to tell us what amount of your salary?
Oh, my salary now is 4,000 MOP.
What is the difference of the salary between Macau and your country?
Oh, it's a big in Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big high difference the range because the salary in the Philippines, if you are the low level, the salary is about 10,000 something that one. But here is about more than 20. 20,000 pesos.
What's your education level?
Oh, I only a college level.
Why do you choose Macau rather than Hong Kong or other regions?
Oh, because last time I worked in Hong Kong already, and then now I want to try the Macau to experience some of your culture. And they say the Macau people is very nice.
Do you satisfied with your job and the salary?
Yes.
Now, where do you live?
Here in Macau?
Yeah.
Oh, in Macau, there. And here, near the... Because my sir, I don't know how to pronounce the word.
Did you rent your apartment or you live in?
Just like the old house.
Are you rent the house?
Oh, no.
Share the people?
Oh, you live in?
I live with my employer.
Oh, okay. Do you think you will improve the life standards after back in your country?
Yeah.
And what is your plan if you go to your country?
Or if I finish my job here,
Yeah.
if I finish contract and then I go back to my... I want to have some business to earn money for my living if I for good already.
Yeah, okay. That's all. Thank you very much.
From Philippines. I'm a Filipino and we're four in the family. My mom and dad used to work in abroad, but dad started work in the abroad when I was a baby, and my mom started work in the abroad when I was 13 years old, and I had a little sister, and we're just the two of us live in the house. And when Christmas and New Year's holidays coming, they both come back here in the Philippines.
The emergence of globalization has changed the dynamics of world economy. A consequence of this process of globalization is the increasing the mobility of people. A closer look at the labor migration and globalization reveals an intriguing connection that may offer insights on the persistence of Filipinos interested in looking for jobs abroad, and as the Filipinos' culture of migration. Economic globalization is necessary. It connects the world through money. In order to get away from poverty, provide a sustainable life for family, mothers and fathers are leaving their families in order to find jobs with better wages. Due to this sacrifice, there is a lack of parental figure for the children left behind. The flow of OFWs, which is mean overseas Filipino workers, numbering a few thousand per year in the early 1970s, surged past 1 million beginning in 2006. In 2015 alone, more than 1,844,000 Filipinos worked abroad. Filipinos are present in the far reaches of the globe. To this day, the Middle East still receives the biggest share with 64%, followed by Asia with 28%. In 2015, the top destination for Filipino workers are in the Middle East such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and in Asia such as Singapore, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and Malaysia. Filipino women are very visible in international migration. In fact, since 1992, females have generally outnumbered men among the newly hired land-based worker legally developed every year. In 2015, domestic work was the top occupation for new hires at 38%. The globalization of migrant workers results in polarization because a first world country can offer to pay better wages than a third world country can. In 2012, Commission on Filipino Overseas estimated that Around 8,500,000 Filipinos were migrant workers, and in 2007, overseas workers sent home about $14.5 billion in remittance, increasing Philippines' GDP by 7.2%. Unfortunately, countries receiving the help of these migrant parents do not acknowledge the type of contributions these migrant workers are giving. It's not only a problem Philippines are facing, but also a global problem. First world countries like the United States should take notice of these migrant workers, as rich nations are acquiring massive help from the third world countries. More consideration and help should be given to migrant workers. For long-term development, the current Philippine Development Plan gives special attention to overseas Filipinos by incorporating international migration issues. It gives attention to special circumstances of migrants and their families, and aims to protect their rights and improve their well-being.